I'm sure some of you have been curious where I am, and I am finally here to let you know. So, first things first, it is hot as heck, so if you do hear some background noise, it is my fan. I do apologize. I'm trying to turn off, like, everything, but there will be a little bit of sound. I do apologize. But let's go ahead, first start off with this Hard Candy Skin Rescue Facial Spray Redness Relief. I just actually picked this up today. Feels nice, feels pretty refreshing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my hair up. But, so to kind of get back to my mini intro of where I have been. So, I have only been gone now for about a week, or I think just like a week exactly. I believe my last video was the Peanuts review situation, and I think my biggest reason for taking a break is that I feel like I just needed, honestly, just a bit of a rest. I was feeling pretty unmotivated. Still am struggling a little bit with that. While that's resting down, I'm going to take, this is also a new one, so it's the Hard Candy Grip Unlock Primer. I've been trying several of their primers lately. But anyways, I had made a post on Instagram, I think a couple of posts, but one main post on Instagram. I didn't necessarily talk about taking a break, but I just kind of was feeling really, like, unmotivated with everything, like, in the industry, and how I feel that, like, as an artist, I just don't, you know, at times, like, I want to create with makeup, but I don't feel like that's what, like, gets views sometimes, and it's hard, and it's also, like, I feel like for me as a person who is a bit older, I'm turning 36, actually, soon. I think the day this goes up, tomorrow on Saturday, I'll be turning 36, so happy birthday to me. But I think at times, like, I think there's just so much stuff, like, that's so easy to get down on yourself in an industry that I feel like is hard to break into, hard for anybody to break into doing social media and stuff. I just felt like I just need a break from it all, basically. Just simplicity of it. I felt like I need a break. I felt like I need a moment to kind of recenter myself. Work has also been a bit stressful. We're going through like a kind of transition right now at my work, so kind of finding like, what is my place? What am I doing? For my foundation, I'm actually going to be using this CoverGirl Blur Tint. I do have a review on this, so check it out if you want to. I actually really like this one. This is my second tube. One thing I found really interesting with this, and I don't know if you'll be able to, like, kind of see, but it, like, struggles to come out a little bit. And it's weird. I don't know if it's the heat, but it's almost, it's gonna sound gross, but got, like, this texture that's kind of like it's sticking together, we'll say. But I noticed if I just go in with my finger and kind of tap it out, it breaks up the little bits that are like sticking together. But I have been wanting to play more with skin tints. I originally really wanted to just kind of have like a really fresh look for my skin and very minimal coverage. I feel like I've got to a point now where I have lighter coverage than I did before. Like, I still, as I said in my review, I still feel like this is a pretty full coverage product, but I don't apply it everywhere. I pretty much just apply it in my T-zone. Back to what I was saying, I think really it's just that. I wanted to rest. I still feel kind of a struggle with, I don't know what kind of content I should be creating, but I'm also trying to really refocus in on what kind of content do I want to create. And I think that's what's hardest. I feel like for a minute, I was creating content that I thought would get me views, and it just wasn't. And part of me thinks as well that maybe I was messing myself up on the algorithm by kind of changing some of my content, talking about different stuff, talking about more mainstream stuff. Sorry if you can hear that. I think it's so weird. I feel like there must be like cicadas that come yearly, so I think that's what that noise is. It's weird that it's like there and then it's gone. Oh yeah, so like part of me feels like maybe I messed myself up in the algorithm with that. I feel like I might have messed myself. Is it the word algorithm that is making them want to get loud? That's hilarious. But I think that I remember I stopped doing shorts a little bit ago, and I think, again, the main real reason is that I just felt unmotivated. I mean, the weather doesn't help. The weather, and then at times the stress at work doesn't help when you're already just feeling kind of, like, low. And then also, like I said, just seeing the views kind of dropping off. Like, I feel like I have been inching my way closer to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube for just a little bit now, but I feel like it's just such this unmotivating thing of, I feel like when you don't feel like you're making the right content, because, you know, you want to grow. That's kind of the point of it. It just feels crappy when you want to kind of get there and you're like, is it me? Is it YouTube or whatever? And I guess the truth of the matter is, unfortunately, it is, you know, always gray area somewhere in between. I'm just going to take a black shade. This is from the Grackle Chat palette. But, you know, when I think of it, truthfully, it is somewhere in between there. So, obviously, part of it is not knowing what is going to do well. And then other parts of it is just, it's kind of how it works sometimes, is that you're not always going to be the most popular. And that's where I think I've really been rethinking of what is my content. Like, I think it will always continue to be makeup themed, but at times, do I want to move away from fully doing reviews? And that's something I've been thinking about for a while. Reviews don't do that well on YouTube anymore. I think mainly what I feel like I've seen, which I'm out of that level because I can't afford it, is like a full face of like new items, which there's also that part of me that I don't know if I necessarily want to, if I could afford it, contribute to the like consumerism of that. And as hard as that, I feel that there's a lot of stuff that with social media I don't always necessarily agree with. I think that I want to share my love of makeup, share my love of beauty with you, and if you want to buy something, you know, if you have, like, for example, I have my code with Gourmand Girls, if you want to purchase it because you think you'll like it or whatever, you know, or you want to just support me, like, I greatly appreciate that, but I never want it to feel that I am just pushing something on somebody just to get them to sell, you know, just to sell it. And again, that kind of harkens back to my Instagram post, is that for a second I was just feeling this, not from anybody, but it's when you see the people on social media who do really well, a lot of the times they're selling something, or they have like something that's within their own lane that may not be selling, but that they already, that part of the, you know, that corner of the market, I feel like is covered, right? So that's where at times I really have just been thinking, okay, what is going to be my corner of the market or whatever it is? And I still don't fully know. Like, I have a couple of ideas of things I want to try. I think the biggest one that I did talk about in an Instagram post is I have been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race recently. And so I would love to try to recreate some of the people's makeup and still kind of do a similar get ready with me-esque kind of thing. I don't fully know. Like, I haven't given it a ton of thought. And true, like I said, I've been kind of just giving myself a rest because I feel like I've gotten myself to a point where it's the creativity is just, it's not there. It's not feeling exciting. It's just feeling draining. I don't know. Like, I don't know if any of you can relate to that with anything where it just feels overwhelming and you're just like, I just need a break from this. I'm going to go ahead, I think, to blend out my brows. I'm going to be using the new Tones of Turd Laminatrix palette. I'm sad I didn't do a video on this one, but I feel like it's kind of a little too late now to do that, so we'll kind of just continue to play with it. And that's something as well that I really want to do with doing my videos of recreating people's makeup. That might be in short form, that might be on lives. I really don't know. I did not say. I just realized I'm just taking this. I think this is a brown. If you don't know, your girl's a little colorblind, so certain shades I can't tell, and if it's too close to green, I have no clue. I'm just gonna kind of feather it in. But I think my big thing that, where I'm really trying to get off with talking about this, is that I really just want makeup to feel more fun for me, and hopefully even for all of you. I think that we are in a very dark time in the world. It's not a pleasant time, and I think that we all want to play with makeup, or some of us do, like, if that's a passion. And I think the biggest part for me is that I really, like, consumerism will probably always be a part of something, but if I can create something as well that it's not just 100% about consumerism, I think that is, like, my goal. Something as well that I did want to talk about is, will I be continuing my series of like new makeup releases? And honestly, I'm not sure. I have thought of either not, just completely dropping it and just doing, you know, kind of 2 videos a week of like get ready with me, or just randomly chatting about stuff, but something simple like that. Because I do think I want to do 2 videos a week. I do think it was doing really well with me, or well for me in the algorithm. I keep forgetting to tell you, I'm taking this green shade here. It's really pretty. I think that is something that was doing pretty well for me in the algorithm, so I do think I want to continue that. I'm going to continue my shorts, but with the new makeup releases, if I do so continue to do them, I'm really thinking of doing them in a realm of either what's within my affordability, or like if like I kind of want to talk about stuff that I would actually be tempted to purchase. I don't think I want to talk about everything, because I don't think I'm interested, for one, in everything. Like, I only want to talk about stuff that I personally might be interested in, and also stuff that I think I can give some ideas to talk about. Real quick, I'm just going to been trying to use this one up. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation. My friend Connie, a couple years ago maybe now, last year or the year before, had bought this foundation for me, and unfortunately it is a little bit too light, but I really like it for carving out my brows. And I think it's a really good foundation if you are on the like drier side, because it's definitely pretty hydrating. But anyways, back to my new makeup releases. Kind of like thoughts with that is, I think just simply of sharing my thoughts about the stuff that I can afford, or the stuff that I would potentially purchase. If you're, I guess, we'll throw an example. So the newest NYX collection with Wednesday. Automatically, I wanted to purchase it just because it looks cute. And also, it's like Wednesday, and it's like Halloween, and I love Halloween, so all of that I'm automatically wanting to jump at. But when I look at most of the collection, I'm kind of like, you know, hopefully I'll have some of it popping up here. I'm kind of like, ugh. Like, the only thing that I think is remotely interesting to me is the little eyeliner. Just for one, we can almost all use a liquid eyeliner. But for 2, it's in the shape of her, is it cello that she does? Which I think is really cool. Kind of reminds me of the Beetlejuice one that came out, I believe that was last year, if not the year before, the Beetlejuice palette. It was just okay, it was cute. But I mainly feel like it's just kind of a cash grab kind of thing. Same with they're doing a little blush quad, and they're also doing a contour quad. Those look kind of like spiderwebby, and I'm just going to assume that they are, for one, small, but for 2, like for 1 with blushes, I don't really need blushes. I still have that little trio from the Beetlejuice collection last year, and have I used it? Nope, not really. I think these are just, they're fun things, and that's the hard part, is like, I don't ever want to necessarily destroy the fun of makeup, so I think that if these are things that intrigue you and whatever, definitely make up your own mind. I think I just want to talk about it for myself, but I think that's where, when I'm like sitting here talking about it right now, there's that part of it where I almost feel like, I'm like, oh, I almost feel like a party pooper, which, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I just get in my head a lot. Sorry if this video is, like, super uber rambly. Hopefully I get better. That's that part of me as well, where at times I'm like, should I? Because I know that for myself, I'm gonna be drawn to some of those collections. You know, I just bought that Peanuts one, and to be honest, did I need most of it? No. At the end of the day, I liked some of it, but I just bought it because I wanted to have, for one, I wanted to have a video, and I wanted to just test out some of the stuff, but am I gonna use a lot of it? Probably not. And really, you know, even at times on the level of consumerism, I really want to try to focus on just buying stuff I'm actually going to use. So that's where, as well, with going with recreating people's makeup, recreating drag queens' makeup, you can use whatever the heck you want to. You can use whatever you have, as long as you're doing the essence of them, it's done. Okay. So, I'm trying to think if I should do the rest of my face foundation. Why not? Let's just go away. So, another product I have been using, I know I've been going crazy, but it's again, I have like so many foundations that I just don't use, so I'm really trying to get more use out of them. I'm gonna put down a washcloth real quick because I have a cold drink and it is melting all over my counter. Okay, so I had bought mine's like so dirty, but I guess my white balance is helping here. the Lisa Eldridge. This is that enhancing skin tint, and I do think this is a really beautiful product. I have been using it for the outer edges of my face. Do I think I will repurchase this once I run out? No. Just because it is so expensive, being that it is $50. This has lasted me quite a long time, but was I using it every single day? No. I had bought it and then I stopped using it, but I think now I've found a good way to use it. I feel like this product really has a decent coverage if you are using it kind of in the way that I am. You can, of course, sheer it out, but it is at times a little too glowy for me for an everyday. That's kind of why I like to have a more matte or soft matte in the center and then glowy around the edges. I've just found that to work a lot better for me. Take it also on my neck. Oh my gosh, I forgot to show you guys. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to, let's see, how can I, whoopsie. Can I show you my shirt? I literally bought this shirt and I have nowhere to wear it. So it says, imagine being scared of diversity, but not dictatorship. I love it. I love the message, but like, why did I buy this shirt? Oopsie. And I did not think of like anywhere to wear this. I feel kind of silly, but I can wear it here for you and hopefully you all can appreciate it. Okay, so with the eye makeup, what I am thinking of doing is I had actually been playing, like, I forget when it was, but I have this idea of a smoky eye. We're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see how we do. Brushes. So I'm just gonna use kind of a thin pencil type brush, and I'm gonna start off with a dark shade first. I don't know what I want to use. I think I'm gonna start with, we'll do Sweet Relief, this really dark green here. Ooh, these are pigmented. And I'm just going to apply that into the center of my eye, just where that, like, colored part of my eye is. It's like a reverse, whatever that one eye is called. You know, where it's, like, dark on the edges and lighter in the center. I'm trying to think if that was mainly all I really wanted to talk about. I think of, like, what's really been going on with me. Just, yeah, mainly that. I think mainly work. Work has been okay. I feel like I never talk about work, but work has been okay. I feel like I've been trying to find a way to balance that. We're currently having new management where I work and just like figuring that out. So it's not been too bad, but because for basically, I guess, slight small context, I had a manager, they're on a leave of absence right now. I have been kind of filling in. I used to be a manager, I don't want to anymore, that's why I'm not. But like, I know what I'm doing, so I can kind of fill in. But now that they have a new one until the other one comes back, it's kind of just figuring out like what my place is. And knowing that managers are gonna have like different experiences and stuff, it's just been a little interesting figuring everything out with that. Okay, I want to take this really bright green, but I'm almost scared it's going to be too much, but screw it, why not? So, Runny Honey is that shade. But yeah, so besides that, I've really been trying to, though, like, give myself time away from work. Like, obviously, like, I work, but then I kind of come home and have my more playtime. Like, one thing as well that I've recently transitioned is I used to give myself a lot of time in the morning to get ready. That was usually when I would film a lot of my videos, would be in the morning before work. But I felt kind of this, that I would come home from work, have like a couple of hours, if even that, an hour and a half probably, and then I would have to get ready for bed and like rinse and repeat, and it really just felt like my life didn't have much time just like in between just to like chill. And in all honesty, doing social media and stuff, it can be a bit of a struggle, I feel, to have that in-between time to have chill. I think I'm gonna I just want to take a brush, like, start blending some of these out. It's like this, like, fluffy brush. So I think that's been something I've been really trying to work on, is having that work-life balance, and I feel like by getting up later and giving myself, like, a little bit less time to get ready for work, it's helped that work-life balance, because I'm not really filming before work, or have not been. I'm just kind of getting up, doing a quick look. It's still hard, because I do like to go a little bit more in. I obviously I love makeup, so it's hard to not do like full makeup, but I've been succeeding. I've not been doing as much as I used to, and it's definitely, I feel like, worked out a lot better for me. I will say this green shade is so incredibly pigmented, which is nice. I feel like I'm just gonna have to use one of the shades in between to like blend. Oh yeah, that's something else we could talk about. This is my first time ever playing with Glaminatrix, and I will say, for my little bit that I've tried, the shadows do apply really well. I would just say the biggest part is they are quite, I don't know if you would say powdery, but they're very pigmented. There is a lot of kick up in the pan, so I do know that some might consider that powdery. I'm just trying to, as I go to pick up more, just kind of pick up that dust so I'm not wasting shadow. But it does seem to be a really nice formula. And like I said, very pigmented, which I love. And I would hope it would be for, I think this palette, like all in all, was like $70, including like shipping. So it's definitely expensive, but should be worth it. And you do get to support a small indie brand, which I do love that. That's like something. It's like weird. Hopefully this idea sticks with me. To be honest, when I thought of this idea, total like random, judge me. I don't know if any of you are of age. Sometimes I'll have like a little drink as I'm like playing around with some makeup or whatever, and this is a night that I was doing that, and I was just playing and I did this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the most brilliant smoky eye idea, which I still am leaning a bit towards, not brilliant, but for us people who feel like our eyes get more closed in with the smoky eye, whoa, I am thinking that this is gonna be a pretty interesting look to do, which I love. I feel like I just lost what I was saying. Love that for me. Continuing on. I think I'm gonna dip in with number 2, which I hope is green. We're just gonna take a little bit of number 2. Okay, that one's not as powdery, it feels like. Maybe it's just like the brush. I don't know. It's not picking up as much. I'm gonna kind of take that around the edges. No, it's still pretty pigmented, and it does kind of feel green, so it's good. I would love to know, though, in the comments, sorry, I know I've been talking a lot about me, I would love to know how all of you are doing. How are you surviving the weather? If it is hot where you are, or if it's cold where you are. I would absolutely just love to know how everything's going. What have you been doing? Anything fun? I feel like I don't usually have enough things to be like, oh my god, I did this and this and this, but maybe that's just sometimes how life is. I feel like my life can be pretty chill and I don't necessarily mind that. If anything, I feel like the idea of like run, you know, sometimes like go can feel like a lot, but I think that's just me, and I know that everybody is different with that, and that's what makes us all super unique and cool. Okay, I think I might call it on the at least mattes. But this is what we're looking like so far. We're not the most blended, but we're playing. And that's what I think is so great about makeup. So I'm really tempted. I originally was going to use Plugged Up, which is like this reddish shimmer, which I was scared I was not going to like. This shade actually looks really pretty. Let's do a little swatch of the two. So we have Corny Surprise, and we have Plugged Up. Okay, no, I think I'm not going to do Corny. Yeah, I almost want something deep in that center. Oh, these both feel really nice. I feel like Corny Surprise, which is this one right here, is a bit more flakier, and then Plugged Up, that deeper one, really, really pretty. Because I do think I want to do turtle heading on the outside edges. Let's just start with what we're going to do, which is Plugged Up. So I'm just going to take it with my finger. These are feeling very nice, very, I wouldn't say creamy, just extremely pigmented. I'm just gonna place that in the center. I really like this shade because I feel like a lot of like red is pulling, which I feel like a lot of times when I try to find like a good red shimmer shade, it tends to pull really orange. And if that's what you want, great, but I think, like, I love having the idea of an orange, but I also want it to pull some red. And I do think this is pulling some red, which, I love that. I think even this, just like all over the lid, blended out. That's another thing I've been doing at times too, which I think is really fun, is just experimenting with, like, I have a post up on Instagram, just playing with a duochrome shade and putting it all over my lid and then blending it into my crease. I did like a little matte on the outer corner, but it was this really pretty look, and it took me like 2 minutes. Like, I love that. I feel like I never play with shimmers for that, and I really love that. Okay, so let's go in with our green shade. So this one feels, I'm gonna say it definitely feels a bit more emollient in the pan. But holy, it's not like showing up that great at all. Oh, that's interesting. It's showing, because this is in here, it's only showing up to you, it's flipped. That's crazy. I'm be curious how it looks on the eyes then. Because in real life, it is looking more like green. Let's just try. So what I'm gonna see versus what you see is gonna be different, huh? Okay, interesting. So it has some like pinkier kind of copper, which actually works really well with that reddy shade that we laid down. This is actually really pretty. Okay, this is not where I thought this was gonna go. And it's going. And that's, I mean, that's really nice. Okay, I guess we know where this look is going now. Because I literally did not have any ideas. Except that I wanted to use this palette. It's feeling very fairy, y'all. Very fairy. Alright, I would also love to know, though, down in the comments, are there any, like, new makeup purchases you've been doing? Are there any things you are on the lookout for makeup? Like I said, I don't feel like I've been seeing much with makeup. Oh, yeah, I saw that, Glaminatrix came out with another palette, a Bonfire palette. I don't know how I feel about that, being the fact that it's so close to this one. I know it's not exactly the same, but it does feel quite close for me. I did not pick that up, just as, as how I'm feeling as a consumer, I feel like it's really, really close. But if that color story speaks to you, buy it. Like, if I had the money, I probably would pick it up. It is really pretty. But with wanting to give, like, this palette some love, like I said, up until today, I've not played with it. I've just been like, wow, that feels, like, really fast for me. So I kind of want to have some time just to, like, enjoy my stuff. Alright, to be honest, I don't know if I want to do anything on the lower lash line. Maybe we'll do, like, a little bit of the green. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of number 2 with just this really thin brush. I'm going to take that underneath the eye. I need to know, I know I talked about this before, but are you all ready for fall? Because I so am. I am so ready to put up my decor. Here's another fun one. I would love to know how many of you watch Drag Race. Because I just recently finished All Stars 10. And hey, if I'm feeling like I've seen a lot of other people feeling, it's like massive disappointment. Like, I'm not surprised that Ginger won. Sorry, spoilers, if you've not seen it. I'm not surprised that Ginger won. But that, like, end lip saying thing, it was so, like, disappointing. Like, I honestly predicted it, you know what I mean? Like, right up at the end, once I saw what they were gonna do, I was able to predict it. I'm just gonna curl my lashes. And as I've been watching, like, other videos of people talking and stuff, I'm like, oh, wow, there are things that really did not make sense. And it kind of, at times, just makes it disappointing. It really does show you at times how kind of produced that show is and how it just feels, at times, disappointing. I'm still going to continue to watch it. I'm actually pretty tempted, and I think I might to buy, I don't know if they have an app for your TV, but I know that WoW Presents, it's like $6.99 or something to be able to watch, like, all the seasons from, like, the UK, hopefully Canada, I don't know. Like, I did not know up until the other day that there's, like, 6 seasons from the UK. Like, I have been sleeping under a rock. And, I don't know, I just find drag so interesting and so different and just so fun, and I love it. It's something that, when that show first came out, I felt so inspired. Like, Nina Flower is one of my favorite characters. She is, or favorite drag queens, I'm talking about characters, favorite drag queens. And she is definitely a makeup that I would love to try to recreate sometime in the future. I did try to one night when I was, like, playing by myself. I do think I posted it, but I had to, like, change some of it because it was not looking great. Her makeup has been makeup that has inspired me for so long. Like, I think that's the main thing when I watch Drag Race, is a lot of times I'm watching it for the makeup. I'm also watching it because I do think it's interesting, and also, like, there's not a lot of, like, queer stuff out there, so I also do find it really interesting. But that is definitely something that I have definitely been enjoying and will continue to watch. Again, if you watch Drag Race, let me know down below who your favorite queen is, or if you have a favorite drag king. I would also like to know. I really want to watch Dragula. I think I tried to watch Dragula, but it wasn't, like, as, you know, done as I'd prefer it to be. as I feel like we've gotten used to, like, RuPaul's Drag Race, so, like, I don't know if I'd want to watch it. If any of you have, like, stuck with it, definitely let me know if it gets, like, better. I do not know what color lip I want to do. Like, I feel like I should do a green. I've been doing black every day lately, but because we're playing, I feel like I should do a green. I almost want to do this one. It might be the cider, or is it the yellow? Alright, sorry, that took me a lot longer than it should have to pick out a lip color. I think I'm going to use, actually, from that new collection that I did buy from Peanuts. These are my favorite lip products. If you've not checked that video out, go check it out. I think I'm going to do the Lucy one. I think that one's a bit more like pinky and berry, because this one's more like, I don't know, this one's a bit more like darker. Or not darker, but like, maybe this one will go more. Maybe I should do this one. They're very soft. So let's grab a liner. I can't help but I feel like I have to line my lips. Here, this one never gets any love. This is a Wayne Goss lip liner that I have. It's like a pretty nude shade. I have been loving to overline my lips. I'm gonna go in with the, I think I'm gonna use the Sally one. And I think I might build it up a little bit just to get it like fully how I want. And then I realized I totally forgot to powder, but that's okay because we are going to use a product I've not tried in a while. So it is a Blush by Profusion. Do I have it? I had played around with this before and didn't like it that much. We're going to try it again. So this is the Peach Mimosa. Hopefully if my base is a bit more like wet, it'll kind of blend in a bit better. Very glowy, so it's nice. Oh yeah, I think that works. I think that's blending in well. It's definitely orange. I probably should have used a lot less. Or you know what? I actually don't hate that. It might be a little too much on camera, but I feel like what I'm seeing in my lighting, it's not bad. Pretty. And I think the lips are also adjusting, like they're deepening. So I might only have to do like one more layer to get like what I fully want. I guess I could talk a bit about my birthday, because I haven't fully, well I did like a little bit, but I'm really excited. I am trying my first ever Tres Leches cake. I apologize if I'm butchering that, but I have never tried it before, and I am super excited. One of my coworkers had shown me a recipe, judge me, it's a pumpkin spice version, but I think it's gonna be really good. I love fall time. Fall all day, every day, except sometimes I like Christmas, but to be honest, I feel like fall and Halloween is where my spooky heart is always at. Not that this makeup is reflecting that at all. Apparently, the makeup gods wanted us to be a fairy today. I might have to pull out some sort of a sparkly highlighter. Ooh, I think I have a good one from Gourmand Girls. I think this is a fun part, though, about, like, makeup, is that it can give you this, like, opportunity to play and just create something that you normally would not do, and that you really can have a lot of fun of. And I think that's really what I want to bring to my channel, is just fun. Is that I feel like that's something that I've been missing when I watch sometimes makeup content, and I've just been missing for myself, is I just want to have fun. I hope it's something that people will enjoy. I'm going to try to not make it like tutorial based, just because I know that does not do very well on the platform anymore. I think I just want it to be kind of a hangout type session where you can just kind of come in and play. I'd love to know your ideas down below, or your thoughts, I guess I should more say. I think if anything, I'm just gonna kind of have to wing it and just keep going and trying, because that's, I think, the only way I'm gonna be able to, like, make it with this, with makeup and stuff, is really just playing around and having fun and figuring out a lane for myself, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly powder. I love this one. This is the Wet n Wild Rose Petal powder. I don't know. I've been loving to use brushes a lot more lately. This is one of my oldest brushes. It is from e.l.f. and it is two of their brushes mixed together, put together, because I lost the brush handle of the other one. Love this brush, but I think they called this their blush brush. This is like my absolute favorite powder brush. But I've really been loving this powder. For one, I feel like it just works really well with my skin, like skin tone. But it is just, I feel like, a pretty nice, lightweight powder. And it's a really good price point, and I do love that. Let me go ahead and set the face. So for setting sprays, I do have a couple of options. So I do have, again, these hard candies. I've been loving these. These I think are like $7. They're so affordable. So I have the matte unlock and I have the look unlock. I think we'll just do look unlock just because I'm just going to be probably taking this off after we finish this because it is my day off. Like, I'll keep it on, but I'm not like going anywhere. And I forgot to say, this product has a really fine mister, which I really do like. I think the only thing for me that I have to get adjusted to is, like, the Milani one has such more of, I feel like, an intense sprayer to it, that if my face is not drenched with this product, I don't feel like it's working. So I try to remind myself that, like, you just need a very light amount on your skin, and I feel like it really does work really well. I like it for melts and everything, and like I said, the fact that it is more affordable, I do believe it is a little bit more bigger, or, like, larger size than the normal ones. I think the normal ones out there are, like, 2 ounces for the regular smaller size, and these are 3.4, so definitely really good, a really good bang. Like I said, I've not tried every single one, but I have tried most of them. I am planning on doing a short. I did pick up, say they have a makeup remover spray, so of course think very Patrick Star one size. This is the pump though, versus that one's aerosol, but I will be curious to see like how this works. It does have coconut oil, so I'm not super excited about that, but it literally just says spray lightly on the face, wait a few seconds, and then gently wipe off your makeup. That I think will be fun to test out and see how it works. Okay, so for highlight, I am gonna dip in with Mermaid Magic by Gourmand Girls. I love this light highlight here. It's so pretty. It's so sparkly. It definitely is not one of those, it's like a glittery highlighter. It's not gonna be one of those super like blendy ones. Hope you can see it right here. It's just really blingy, and I feel like it's gonna help to do that whole like kind of sparkle thing I'm wanting. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, just dot it with my finger maybe. And I guess you could have done the same with the brush. But because I just want like a super glow, I think that's gonna be cute. It's pretty. See a little bit on like the forehead, brow bone area. Ooh, that's really pretty. I love how, like, glowy this is. I think that is going to be it for today's video. Definitely let me know down below what you do think of this video. It might be a little weird. I know this is my first one back, and I'm going to try and be as non-critical to myself as I can be, because I think that's been my issue. I think I've just been really, really, really hypercritical of myself lately with all of my content, so I'm going to try to chillax with that and just not care as much and just have fun. Yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this content. I would absolutely love to have you here. Leave me a comment as well. Those things are amazing, and I do really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.